Right, it's about 2:15. We've done 17 miles since 6:30 this morning, which means we're making about 2.1 knots, which is still preferable to what was happening for the 2 days. Not yesterday, but the 2 days prior to getting any wind at all, where we were making no knots at all. So we've had, although it is supposed to pick up 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, the wind's supposed to pick up. Mind you, it was supposed to pick up 2 days ago. The predicted 2 days ago, we were supposed to get 8, 9, 10, up to 13, back down to 8, 9 knots. I don't think we're getting that. It actually turned out to be, yes, we did get some period of time where it was 12, 13 knots for a short period, one of the nights, and then basically I think we're 5, 6 knots of wind. We're just about moving, maybe 6, 7 knots of wind. We're just about moving. We are steering, we are still going in the right direction, so yes, that is a lot better than drifting, spinning around, just drifting in the middle of the Atlantic, but it's not a great deal better. We're now 459 miles from Barbados and crawling on our hands and knees. So that 450 miles can still be another week at this speed. This is crazy. So it could be more than a week at 2 knots, couldn't it? And this is not, can I just say, because I know this is not a pile of weed on the bottom of the boat or anything like that. This is none of that. The hull was cleaned. The hull was scrubbed before I set off. About 4 days before I set off, the hull was scrubbed. So it's getting more than a little bit tiresome. This, I mean, it's a bit more. It's a bit easier to handle if you are actually going somewhere. So like this morning was a little bit better. I was feeling a bit better about it this morning because we had just that little touch, maybe a knot and a half, 2 knots more. But we're making, we're getting 2.5 to 3 knots. We're just getting a little bit more so we can get 2.5 to 3 knots. And well, probably averaging 2.5, but at least you can see 3 knots occasionally come up on the thing. At the moment, when you look at the Garmin, it just goes 1.4, 1.7, 1.4, 1.3, 1.8, 2, 1.4, 1.7. That's it. That's all it does. So we're just barely scraping along. With 450 more miles to go. On the other hand, I keep looking at the distance that we have done, and it's we've come a long way. We've come a really long way, and we're really on. We are on the downhill run now. Like, there you go. Look. I mean, there's so little swell, you can see the horizon without having to wait for a swell to go by, so you can see far enough out to the horizon. Not only that, you can stand up in the boat without holding on to anything, which is not normal, isn't it? It's got to that stage. I think I've kept body and soul together reasonably well, actually, on this trip. The food is, well, it's been reasonable. Done reasonably well on the food. Pretty much out of everything nice, if you see what I mean. There's no more yogurts left because they have long life yogurts in Cape Verde, which is good, but I can't find any more of them. All the fruit's gone. The only vegetables left are onions and marrows. So we're basically down to tin food, really. I'm not quite sure what to do with the marrow. I got butternut squash. I got maybe 2 butternut squash. I could do something with that, I suppose. Soup. I don't know. I don't know what to do with butternut squash. It's not the type of thing I eat normally. Marrows and bananas. Anyway, so I don't know quite what to do with that. I dragged a marrow out, and I've just sort of sat there looking at it thinking, not quite sure what to fucking do with this. So I think I'll just fry it. I don't know quite what to do with it, but yeah, I'm good for pasta. I've got loads of rice. I've got couscous, so all the carbohydrates not a problem. I thought I was out of milk, and then I found a load more cartons of milk, which is good, and I've also got the dried milk, so I'm not yet onto dried milk, which is quite good. I've probably got 3 or 4 days worth of milk still, so that's quite good. But when you open a milk, because there's no fridge, because I can't run the fridge, you have to drink it that day. So it was quite good that I managed to get half-litre bottles of milk, Tetra packs of milk in Cape Verde. But by the time I'd found them, I'd already bought loads and loads of the litre ones. So when I open a litre, it has to be drunk that day. You know, so you've got to basically drink a pint of milk with some chocolate powder, and it's not a bad thing. So. Hi, okay, so it is the 12th of January, I think. It's day 28 or 29. It'll be 29 at midday, which is in about an hour's time on my timing, because I'm still on Cape Verde time. I've just run this on Cape Verde time, and the weather is well, it's eased off a bit actually. We've still got a big swell. It was blowing 27, 28 last night, not all the time, into the gusts. So 24, 25, gusting 27, 28 last night. So again, it left a big messy swell this morning. I put a jibe in this morning to run more north to take myself to that northern waypoint on the chart for Barbados, and I've put another jibe in now to run more directly down to it. That I am currently 8.5 miles from my waypoint. There's a further 5 or 6 miles after the waypoint to get down to Port St. Charles. So this is the book of knowledge, the chart here. So this is the northern end of Barbados here, and then that's waypoint 1 here, which I'm heading for now. That's about 8.5 miles away. I'm out kind of in that direction. I'm out there. Well, no, actually, no, I'm probably more out there. Yeah, so and then there's waypoint 2 there and waypoint 3. So basically 1 and 2 keeps you off of these off-lying reefs here. They're keeping you about a mile to a mile, so you're coming in quite close. They're keeping you a mile offshore, which is fine. So as long as I'm keeping to those waypoints, and we're a significant way offshore, will be good. A mile offshore, that'll be cool. And then we have waypoint 2, and then basically it's run down here to waypoint 3, which is there. Waypoint 3 here, and you've got to keep these comfortably. Keep these lights comfortably. Keep just off these lights, basically, half a mile off of these lights. And then as soon as you make this waypoint, you've got to turn and run in, and this here is Port St. Charles, where you clear in. looking a bit grim, isn't it? I was actually sat here thinking, Barbados looks even smaller than the Isle of Wight. There's not much in it really. I think it's about the same size, maybe a bit smaller than the Isle of Wight. And then I noticed a bloody great big rain cloud going over it. It's gone over really quick as well. It's just rushed over the whole island in less than like 3 minutes. Seriously, I've only just noticed it, picked up the camera, and I was just going to film it and say, look, it looks a bit like England. Like, having come all this way to be met by a rain-drenched island in the middle of nowhere. We are currently about 1.5 miles from waypoint 1, and we seem to be going pretty much dead on for it, pretty good. Yeah, still, never mind, we're nearly at the northern end of the island, where we can start hanging, do our turn to get onto the eastern side of the island where it'll be a bit more protected. So we're not far off now. Right, I was going to say that we got in the lee of all the Atlantic swell and everything, but now it seems to have picked up again. There was a little bit there as we went around the northern tip there, where it was really, really calm and nice, and I thought, oh my god, this is brilliant. It's like a nice summer day on the Blackwater or something. So anyway, I nipped up the front end, the pointy end, and took down the spinnaker pole and what have you, and I set the Genoa, so we're on a we're now sort of coming down, tacking now down towards well, on a tack, going towards Speightstown, Port St Charles. Yeah. Right, I've sailed down as far as I can. I wish I'd cut it a bit tighter now, but I'm 1.4 miles from the entrance to the Port St Charles. I've had to put the engine on. I've also had to run it at a bit over 2,000 revs to get anywhere at all. At 1,500 revs we were doing 1.4 knots, which would take an hour to get in. I'm just hoping there's enough fuel in the tank to get us there. My plan is to get reasonably close. I'm going to phone up, call up the marina now after this, and just say I'm on my way in, but that I need to go to the fuel dock. If not, the way I'm set up, this is dead into the wind, absolutely cock onto the wind. It would bloody take all afternoon to tack into here. It's a pain in the ass, and yeah, no. Well, not all afternoon. It takes bloody hours in this boat anyway because of the shoal draft. So if the fuel packs up, I'm going to bear away to starboard and just run towards the beach until I've got 8 meters and drop the hook and figure it out from there. Really, that's my plan. The law of sod has well and truly kicked in, and the fucking fuel is gone. God knows how much fuel is this? 25 litres in that can. I ran it for half an hour last night, and I've run it for 45 minutes now, and it's gone. That's fucking fuel's gone. So I'm still in 30-40 metres of water, so I have not got close enough into the shore to be able to anchor, so I don't know quite, and the wind is not sure whether there's going to be wind or not. There's little gusts of wind. You get moving for a little bit, so shit, yeah. I've called up the port authority, the harbour authority, but there's no answer. no one's answering. Same as what happened in the Canaries, no one answered there either. Maybe it's because it's Sunday. It's useful, isn't it? Anyway, there are some yachts down here, just down there, anchored. And right, I'm going to try and painfully tack my way into those yachts where they are and chuck the hook over the side, because that's basically the only thing I can do. It says in the book to anchor in 8 meters, so hopefully we will be able to do that. I'm literally half a mile from the entrance from the harbour. In fact, I don't think the engine ran for 45 minutes. I think it ran for half an hour. That was it. So we'll have to see. I'm gonna have to play around with this for a bit, really, for a few hours, and see if I can sort of eat my way in towards the shore a little bit and get into a shallow enough water to anchor. Really, what a pain in the ass! Fuck's sakes. Okay, right. Where are we at? Well, we're at Barbados. We are at Barbados. We're halfway between Port St Charles and Speightstown, I think. Okay, we're safe. We're secure. Someone's bound. I thought someone was coming in a little speedboat to come and bollock me, but they didn't. So you know, I've radioed Port St Charles Harbour on 77, and nobody's answering. May it's Sunday, probably Sunday afternoon, no one's answering. So tomorrow morning I'm going to pump the dinghy up and row into the harbour and find somewhere to put the dinghy. So I'll set the anchor along, I'll put down some chain, and at least I can get a decent sleep now. I'm fucked, you probably tell I'm just sort of meandering a bit. I'm pretty fucked. The last couple of days have been quite tough. We've been fairly high winds, and I was worried about shipping conversion on Barbados, so I was keeping more of a lookout. As I was passing the marina where the other boats were anchoring, it might have been one of the boats actually, some fucker was having a barbecue. So someone was having a barbecue as I sailed by, and I got it full force in the face. Like I was like, oh, chicken and burgers and beer. Oh, you bastard.